These seats must have come out of an airplane. They got handles all over the place.
We'll call to order this January 21st meeting of the Board of Directors of ONWASA. Mr. Hudson, invocation, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. As is your custom, please bow with me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that you've given us, and we thank you for our ability to meet here in peace. Lord, to consider the business of the utility. Lord, we ask for your blessings upon this meeting. We ask you please give the directors wisdom as they make decisions regarding the provision of this necessary resource to our community. In all things, we thank you. We thank you for your protection of our employees that are out in the field every day, Lord, and all those that they work with. It's in Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Turner will lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Kitchen, I'll turn the meeting over to you for the annual election of officers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As is our rules, the nomination will be for the chairman, vice chairman, and secretary treasurer. We'll take them each in turn. The nominations will be viva voce, which means you just simply can nominate the individual, or you can nominate yourself for that matter. No second is required. I will open the nominations for chairman. Do I have nominations?
Director Bittner.
Director Bittner. Do I have any other nominations? Hearing none, I will close the nominations. All in favor of Director Bittner as chairman, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Ayes carried. Congratulations, Chairman Bittner, for another term. I'll now open the floor for nominations for vice chair.
Director Connor.
Director Connor, do I have any other nominations?
Move the nominations be closed.
I have a motion to close nominations. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Nominations are closed. All in favor of electing Director Connor as vice chair indicate by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. Ayes carry. Congratulations, Vice Chairman Connor. And we have the last position is for Secretary Treasurer. I will open the nominations for Secretary Treasurer.
Director Bennett.
I'm sorry,
Director Bennett.
Director Bennett. Do I hear any other nominations?
Move the nominations be closed and the candidate elected by acclamation.
I have a motion to close the nominations and elect Director Bennett by acclamation. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Congratulations, Director Bennett. Mr. Chairman, I will turn the floor back over to you.
Thank you. Please turn your cell phones to off or vibrate. Any individuals making presentations or public comments are asked to adjust the microphones as necessary and to speak directly into the microphone. This meeting is being recorded. First item of business, the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second to approve the agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Approval of items on the consent agenda.
Motion. Second.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passed. First item under business, financial update, presenting Ms. Tiffany Riggs, Chief Financial Officer.
A quick update of our current financial outlook for fiscal year 21 is positive, but it's based off of the last 6 months of operating revenue and expenses. It's 6 months of the fiscal year. The goal is for revenue to be higher than 50% and expenses to be lower than 50%. Our two major water and sewer revenue resources are user fees and system development fees, which make up 92% of our operating budget. The good news is of December 31st, the actual revenue bill for those major sources was at 57% of the total amount budgeted, which is 7% higher than the targeted goal of 50%. Based on those figures and projections for the next 6 months, revenue should meet all budgetary goals. We have been cautious with our spending and will continue to do so, and expenses will remain steady as of December 31st, which are only at 44% of the total amount budgeted. Based off of those figures and projections for the next 6 months, expenses should remain within our budget. And over the last 12 months, our water and sewer accounts have increased. Water accounts have increased by 2.3%, and our sewer accounts have increased by 5.8%. And what that means is based off of the average water and sewer user, those increases in accounts on an annual basis represent $425,000 in new water revenue and $245,000 in new sewer revenue. But let's talk a little bit about cash flow. It's great to build revenue and the revenue numbers look great, but we need cash in the bank to pay bills. A tool that we like to use to measure how well our cash flow is actually functioning is the amount of revenue or the amount of money that you've collected versus what you've billed. And based off of the last 6 months, what we have billed versus what we have collected is at 99%. And that's pretty good standard for any industry to be collecting that much of what you have billed. So what that means to ONWASA is that our active customers are doing an outstanding job of meeting their obligations to ONWASA. So barring any unforeseen circumstances, the remainder of fiscal 2021 should remain financially stable for ONWASA. Do you have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Do you get any COVID money anywhere?
No, ma'am, we have not received any COVID funds to date.
Is there any possibility that we'll get that?
We've actually made application with FEMA to see if we would qualify, but we've not heard any responses.
Okay, thank you.
Tiffany, you said that we've got a 2.3 increase in water users and a 5.8 in sewer.
Yes.
That's neat. I mean, I would think that would be reversed, because.
And typically our growth expectation or estimations are much lower than that for both. Usually for water, it's around 2.5 and sewer 1.5.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
sewer is making a comeback as far as the number of accounts we're adding.
I know you probably don't have the data in front of you. If maybe for the next meeting, it would be interesting to just see where we're growing, if that's possible, to see where we've increased, you know what I mean?
Certainly. We can do that. We can do a chart. I know that also in the reports that you receive every month, in the ops reports.
Yes, ma'am.
That it's listed there as well.
It is listed there?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
And I can help you find it after the meeting if you like.
Have to do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tiffany, is COVID-19 still affecting our delinquency rate?
It's improving. We started out with over 3,000 arrangements with our COVID customers, and we are down to a little over 1,000. And the dollar amount initially was around not quite 550,000, and it's under 100,000 to date.
Very good.
So all customers are paying. We've not discontinued anyone's service because they've been unable to pay the COVID balance during the time period that was established with Executive Order 124 and 142.
Any other comments?
Good job.
Thank you.
We, for the record, we accept the verbal financial update. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. Report accepted. ONWASA Storage Building Construction Contract. Mr. Hudson.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, this is our CIP project number 2B. The request is for approval of a construction contract to build a parts and supplies warehouse in the field operations yard, which is just the gravel lot behind the main building on Georgetown Road. The project is part of the board-approved CIP in conjunction with the laboratory building, which has already been started. The project consists of a 4,900 square foot pre-engineered metal building on a concrete slab floor with an unconditioned main storage area, 2 conditioned small offices, a restroom, and a mechanical electrical room. An exterior covered area for outdoor storage, and code in City of Jacksonville required fire apparatus access road bid. So anytime you have a building like that, this is a very loud, I'm getting a real bad echo, or is it just me?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. So we have to build an access road bed so that even a heavy fire truck full of water or access can get back to where we would be building this at, in the yard behind there. The construction contract documents for this project were advertised for formal bid, and a total of 5 bids were received by November 2020, the due date. The apparent low bidder for the contract is IMEC Group LLC of Newbern, North Carolina, who had a base bid of $966,700. The design architect for the project has reviewed the bid submitted and recommended both acceptance of the low bid and execution of a construction contract with the firm. The low bid is slightly more than the original project budget. We had budgeted $915,000. Ms. Riggs has prepared 2 project budget ordinance amendments, which transfers $90,000 for the current roofing project. And the roofing project, you may remember, which the board awarded at the last meeting, was over $200,000 under budget. We got really good competitive pricing on that roofing project. And so before you this evening would be 2 project budget ordinance amendments, which transfers $90,000 from the current roofing project to the storage building project. The $90,000 transfer brings the total project budget that's available to $1,005,000. ONWASA is not borrowing money for the project. Any leftover funds will be returned to fund balance. Mr. Chairman, the action requested would be consider a motion to proceed with the construction contract.
Second. Any discussion, questions? All those in favor of proceeding with the construction contract indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's adopted. Phase 2 Northwest Regional Water Reclamation Facility Hurricane Florence Response Flood Mitigation Measures Construction Contract. Mr. David Muir, Chief Operating Officer.
Evening, everyone. You know it's a big project when it's got a 20-word name. Chairman Bittner and members of the Board of Directors, the item before you this evening is the second competitive bid construction contract to address recovery of the Northwest facility from flood damage caused by Hurricane Florence in 2018. As described in the agenda, the project combines both the restoration of plant electrical and control systems with multiple hazard mitigation improvements designed to protect critical process equipment up to more than the 500-year recurrence flood event. Major items of work include a new elevated electrical distribution and control center, 2 new flood-resistant buildings to protect selected process equipment, elevated platforms to support additional outdoor process equipment, raising the plant's emergency generator, and replacement of electrical wiring throughout the facility that was flood damaged. Along with the recently completed UV filter building renovation project, this project will bring the Northwest plant back to full operation, as well as provide a much greater capacity to withstand future flood events. Based on a 270-day construction period, all work should be completed by the end of this calendar year. Muter Construction LLC of Zebulon, North Carolina provided the lowest responsive and responsible bid for the project at a January 12th bid opening, and the design engineer has verified the bid, and I'm recommending acceptance of the low bid and award of the contract to this firm. The action this evening is to consider a motion to proceed a contract with Muter Construction LLC in the amount of $4,801,000 for the Northwest Regional Water Reclamation Facility Hurricane Florence Response Flood Mitigation Measures Project. And I'd be happy to take questions. This is a big one for us, and been trying hard to get this thing bid out and awarded. So,
David, I know you note that we anticipate reimbursement of a significant portion of the project's cost through insurance, FEMA, and Golden Leaf grant funds. Any idea of how much reimbursement we'll eventually receive?
not exactly. We're starting to work on that. We've asked the contractor to break down the bid into the items that FEMA would reimburse us for. Actually, on the bid schedule, we listed the FEMA items of work, and he put a price to them. We're verifying those. We're also going to pass it by insurance. I guess to give you an idea, the Golden Leaf grant is Yeah, $1,050,000. We have that available for the electrical building, raising the electrical building, so that's, at least gives you a number for part of it. But the FEMA and insurance will be, we're gonna send it all to them and ask them what they're gonna cover, and, I'm sure there'll be a haggle, as it always is with both of those.
Thank
I-
you.
You got anything else to add to that, or?
No, we'll just have to wait and see what, both entities will reimburse us for.
So.
Any other questions, comments?
I have one question.
Yes,
As we work through the reimbursement process, is there going to be any type of financial hardship that we need to be worried about while we wait for any anticipated funds to come back?
I guess I'll defer to the CFO.
Come to the podium.
No, ma'am, based off of our existing unreserved fund balance, we should be more than capable of covering the funds.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Upfront.
just thinking sometimes FEMA's, 18 to 24 months before you have anything back, so,
We have all that planned into the cash flow for the next few years, along with all of our other projects.
perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
any other questions? Need a motion to proceed with the contract?
Second.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is adopted.
Well, the unfortunate side is, it's gonna be another hurricane season before we get it done.
Yeah, we had originally scheduled, trying to get it done for this one coming up. And, there were some delays in getting design done. The mitigation part of it had to be approved by FEMA in order to be eligible for reimbursement. So we had to step very carefully there. We didn't want to bid something out and then have FEMA turn around and tell us they wouldn't agree to it. So that just took longer. Actually, I didn't mention it, but one of the things we did do, we were originally set up to bid the electrical project and the mitigation separately. We combined them because of it would just take too long to get two projects done. So we put them together. We're gonna do it all in one shot with one contractor. And, it's, supposed to be done, like I say, in November. So let's, hope for a mild season this year.
I have one other question. You note the placement of the electrical boxes above flood level. Is that, what is flood level? Florence?
Trying to get a minimum across the facility of 2 feet above the 500 year. To give you an example, the new elevated electrical building will be a story in the air, so it'll be almost 10 feet off grade. The flood level in 2018 with Florence, we had roughly between 3 and 4 feet. So we've allowed plenty of freeboard.
So,
Yeah,
So,
well,
If it's higher
don't
than
ever
that,
have to do it again. If it's higher than that,
we need a NARC.
yeah.
Okay. All right, item D, 2021 combined wastewater treatment lagoon cleaning project construction contract. David?
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman Bentner, members of the Board of Directors, the final business item before you this evening is a competitive bid contract for removal of accumulated waste solids from settling lagoons at both the Dixon and Hubert water treatment plants. As noted in the agenda narrative, this work is performed on a 3-year cycle, is necessary to maintain sufficient storage volume in order to ensure water discharge from the final basin meets permit requirements. Removed material will be disposed of at the county landfill. All works to be completed within 45 days of the issuance of a notice to proceed, so the project does not interfere with the high demand time of year, the tourist season. Synagro Central LLC of Baltimore, Maryland provided the lowest responsive and responsible bid for the project at the January 8th bid opening. While the amount was slightly more than the funds allotted, I believe the pricing is accurate, so I'm recommending acceptance of the low bid and award of the contract. This is kind of a specialty, you notice the contractor's out of Maryland. This is kind of a specialty product. We got 2 bids in. You'd have to search nationally, probably get more bidders than that for something like this. They actually remove the material, dewater it, and then haul it. Tonight, the action requested is consider a motion to proceed with the construction contract with Synagro Central LLC in the amount of $430,000 for the 2021 combined water treatment plant lagoon cleaning project. And if there's any questions on this one, I'd be happy to answer.
Questions, comments?
Quick question, sir. I saw where Bionomics saw the dredging and disposal of Dixon quite a bit different from Synagro. Did you get any explanation what they were scared of there?
We bid this is the second time I've been involved with it. We bid it as a lump sum item, as opposed to trying to measure the amount that comes out of the basin. We showed them the basin, the size and the depth of the material, and said, give us a price to take it all out. They were pushing us hard to change it to a unit price where we would pay per cubic yard, per ton, whatever it was. And I think they felt there was more risk in the lump sum. If they guessed wrong, then they'd get stuck, so.
Makes sense, thank you.
If I understood this right, this is a 3-year type thing, every 3 years we're gonna have to do this?
Yeah, we pick one basin, I think, at each water plant and do it, yeah.
And basing every 3 years, it's.
No, it's wherever it builds up the most, or, you know, which one needs clean.
Just out of curiosity, is it feet or inches of sludge that they're removing from the bottom of these things? I mean, if you look at these ponds, when they remove that stuff.
Oh, no, one that's full, it'll be feet,
Really?
yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
It's a holy mess, too.
I guess pretty crappy work.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Any other questions?
Real bad.
Need a motion to proceed with the construction contract with Snagro as stated.
Second?
That moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is adopted.
Thank you.
Public comment? No. Chief Executive Officer's comments, Mr. Hudson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd just like to say thank you to the Onslow County Health Department. They have been helpful. ONWASA employees are classified as critical infrastructure employees. Obviously, we're supplying about 3 billion gallons of water a year to 146,000 people. And so we were able to be classified, or at least those over 50 in age were able to be classified to be able to receive the vaccination if they so desired. And the health department has really been working with people in general and also with critical infrastructure employees to really get everyone that needs to be vaccinated, that would like to be vaccinated, done very quickly. And so just a thank you to them. We are all fatigued after so long with COVID. Our staff are doing a lot of different things this evening. You know, of course, all of us have our masks in hand when we're not talking right here, but also we're still doing lots of things like remote work and scheduling and shifting our schedules so that we minimize contact between employees, especially at our water production plants and facilities. We're just doing a lot. Even so, ONWASA, like every other employer, has had problems with dealing with COVID. And so we're looking forward to getting this in the past. And we appreciate our community partners, like the Onslow County Health Department, that's done a lot to help us get through this. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have. Thank you.
Do we have any update on the Southeast Sewer project?
Right now, actually, Mr. Moore has been engaging with our consultant engineers to go ahead and start work on engineering the line between the Summerhouse plant and the Holly Ridge plant. And we're also engaged with the base, working to make sure that our connection point is the correct point. We thought that it was the SR 61 pump station location that they previously identified, and it may still be, but we're also hearing from the base that they may reevaluate that area and that another connection point for ONWASA might be preferable, depending on any bottlenecks in their own sewage system that they would like to fix. So right now, that's where that stands.
I don't know if you had the opportunity yet, but with Mr. Warden's construction background, you may want to bring him up to speed on these two sewer projects in Swansboro and the southeast one.
Yes, sir.
Board of Directors comments. Ms. Turner?
Congratulations, you three, for being elected, for another term. Other than that, I thank the staff for doing exactly what you said. Everybody's doing something different. People are out all the time. We experience that on the base. And some days are more difficult than others, but everybody pitches in and helps, and that's what a team is all about. And that's it. Thank you.
Mayor?
I would just like to say Happy New Year to everybody. I apologize for being a couple minutes late and just ran into some delays getting here. We have also been experiencing issues with COVID within our workplace as well. So I understand the challenges that you all are going through, trying to minimize the staff in the office, and assistants are working at home, and it's just cannot wait until this is over and back to normal. So I want to appreciate and certainly thank everybody for everything that they're doing from ONWASA.
Mr. Hines?
Yeah, I want to welcome aboard Director Warden. Glad to have you. And I congratulate everybody that's, the officers that got elected. And I thank everybody out in TV land for watching us and filling us in. And the staff for what they are doing. Our staff is they're like everybody else, having difficult times. It seems like they're cruising through it. So I just want to say thank you to all the staff.
Director Bennett?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to mention that the county has done a lot to try to get vaccines out, and I just want to remind people, if you're 65 or older and you want a vaccine, you can go to onsocountync.gov and you can register online, and they will call you and schedule you to get a vaccine. We've vaccinated thousands of people, I believe, between Onslow County and the hospital. Somewhere close to 5,000 people have been vaccinated in Onslow County so far, and the shot clinics are going every day, trying to get as many people vaccinated as we can so we can beat this COVID thing. The county has done some evaluations about what happens if we end up having to, if we end up with a $15 an hour minimum wage. It was very telling to see that it was going to it would cost the county taxpayers $10 to $16 million if we have to do that. The money has to come from someplace, and I think I'm sure that Mr. Hudson, you're looking at how it might affect ONWASA if we have to go to something like that. And the other thing that I wanted to mention, and I think you heard about it, Mr. Hudson, is the possibility of leasing some space on our water towers. What I'm hearing is there's some broadband companies who are using microwave to connect some people in our rural areas with broadband, and they need access, places to put those microwave antennas. And maybe some of ONWASA's water towers would be an option to help provide broadband service to some of our rural areas. So I'd like to see us look into that some.
Just as a follow-up, I had my first COVID-19 shot, and my compliments to the commissioners and to your staff. It was it's an experience, but I wouldn't say it's delightful, but they have this thing organized so well that it was a treat to go through and have so many friendly people make sure that you're being taken care of. My hat's off to you guys for doing a great job setting that up.
Royce, you said something about the website. They can still call in and get it.
They can call in. I don't have that phone number right in front of me.
989-5027.
Thank you. 989-5027. You can call and make an appointment, or you can go online. There's a registration form you got to fill out. So if you go online and fill out the registration form, then you'll have step one out of the way before you ever go. So anyway.
Director Connor?
Well, thank you, Mr. Warden, or welcome, Mr. Warden, thank you. Welcome, Mr. Warden, and thank you guys, staff, Mr. Moore, Tiffany, Ms. McDermott asked you guys a question a while ago, and spot on. I mean, you're just on top of your game. Thank you. Thank you for all you guys. Thank you guys so much. So.
Director Warden, or Mr.
I'll skip him.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay, you best for last, I know. thank you all. Looking forward to working with you and, looking forward to, learning some more. I won't be very vocal for a while till I learn enough so I don't embarrass myself too bad, but, just a little anecdotal comment. You were saying you're looking forward to better days. Mr. Bennett and I were in a meeting this morning, Zoom meeting, and, Dr. Penny Burlingame Deal was there, and she was saying she hopes that they peaked on the number of patients that they're having to deal with. You know, they had a big peak based on the Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. She hopes that they've passed that and we're perhaps on our way down. And certainly as we get more than 5,000 vaccinated, hopefully we'll see those better days coming. I know we're all looking forward to it. So. And now the best for last.
Director Foster.
First of all, I want to remind everybody that the day-to-day operations continues, and then you add the issues that you face with COVID-19 on top of that. And the feedback that I have received and heard is that the folks that are answering the phone and doing the job of the office is doing a heck of a job, because it's fatigue sets in and patience disappears with customers and frustrations with all that, and the same end of the employees that are answering that, but the customer service has still been top of the line, and people are very pleased with that in a time that 9 months in, we're all fatigued, we're all tired, and everybody's just about on empty. So the fact that that is still being reported is significant, and I think everybody answering those phones and doing that needs to be commended with being able to pull that off in such a difficult time. So welcome aboard.
Thank you.
The only thing I'd like to add to that is I was thinking about this when we were talking about the percentage of folks that are payments coming in at being about 99% of payments received versus what we've billed out. And I think that you could directly correlate that to the citizens and residents being happy with the service as well. Because if they weren't happy, you wouldn't be at the top of the list to be getting paid.
And one thing with the phone, I think it's not running today, phone bank, or tomorrow, but I think it'll be back up on Monday.
That's right. We've got so many appointments already, they're swamped.
Yeah.
The only thing I want to add is that looking around at this board of directors, I see a lot of experience, expertise, and talent. And I realize that any one of you could serve as chairperson, so I consider it an honor to be your selectee, and thank you very much. Need a motion to adjourn. Motion. Okay, everyone wants to adjourn, stand up and leave.